welcome to the show. Welcome to Talk TV Media. Midnight in Liberia. And it's just 70 minutes after 7 p.m. my time. Folks, welcome to day three. Election talk, election broadcast. Day three at Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gadu. Welcome, folks. Wherever you're watching us from, today is October 3rd, AD 2023. So I would love to welcome you on the show. I'd like to talk about tonight as well, just as last night. This is something we will keep doing until October 10th, the day of elections. So wherever you're watching us from, if you're watching us from Culver City, you're watching us from Vonjima, from Foya, or from Monrovia, Montserrado, Kipamos, wherever you're watching us from, welcome to the show tonight. And tonight is your show. This is where we discuss issues free, fair, and unbiased. So if you need to contribute, we will be highly appreciative of that. I will drop the link as well as the number on the screen. You can call in and be a part of the show. But tonight, couple of topics I want us to talk about that has to do with the ongoing campaign that the JMB team and the rescue team, Rescue One, is doing in Lofa. A lot of activities today. Many of you did follow what's happening in Lofa. So I want to give you updates as well as updates of what just took place this gone weekend in Foya. It's very important. Liberians have a tendency of just sweeping things under the rug, quick to forget. But this is not something we should just forget because why? Someone lives, people lost lives, families lost their loved ones, and we needed to talk about it. And perpetrators need to be brought to book. Perpetrators of those heinous crimes need to be brought to justice because I call them heinous crimes because to beat another living being with stones and sticks and rocks, that's beyond human comprehension for anyone to do that. So people need to be brought to book, and I hope it is not going to go so far like it is going already. People are politicizing that entire scenario that took place from all sides of the R, the CDC side, the UP side, at the detriment of those two lives and the many people that got injured. Politicians are capitalizing on it. They are politicizing the situation, which is very, very cruel or unfair for any of them to do, folks. So not good. I saw the CDC chairman, Moba Malu, today, in his words, when they had their party conference on it, he politicized it. You know, they're playing around people's lives and stuff like that. When you listen to radios in Foya, all of them, they're all politicizing it. But the biggest question I want to ask these politicians, you politicians listening to me, what if those people, those boys who died, if they were your children? What if that was your son? If that person, that child was your child, what would you do? Will you be happy for a politician to politicize the scene? Unimaginable. And this is where we need to play the balance here at Talk TV Media Network. Because we call people to book, we critique people in a positive way. It is left with you to take it or not to take it. But the fact is, we want to make sure we call people out when it is wrong. When it is wrong. Call a spade a spade. Stand up, even if you have to stand alone. That is what you do. Have a backbone in your back. Be a man enough to say this is wrong. It's not worth it to take someone else's life. But it is. Part of the politics and many people who are out there. And the first warning I would like to give all our listening audience is as elections approaches, many of you, parents or young people, even adults, if you have no business going out at night, don't. Because at this time, in these times when elections are closing in, there is a lot of evil, a lot of bad things happen at night. A lot of bad things take place. And nothing will come to book. So I'd rather have you exercise the first law of defense, which is to protect yourself. If you are out at night, have a friend or two, because there's a video that's circulating just online and just last week when we saw two brothers. One was both of them actually, according to reports, allegedly they were captured to be executed, and you saw the wounds and the blood and the slicing of their body parts and stuff. And the other one is still trying to recover. I don't know if he's dead now. They found him somewhere, I think District 6, you know. So these are the kind of things. When it is dark, that is when the devil comes out. So those of you parents, tell your boys, tell your girls, stay indoor. If you have no business going out, stay indoor. Stay indoor. Elections will come and pass. But you don't want the elections to come and pass and you have no life. So safety first. Safety, front and center. Safety first, folks. We will be talking about, is the National Election Commission prepared for this election that we have in 7 days? Is the National Election Commission prepared? Have they put into place all the necessary mechanisms, variables that should facilitate the process peacefully? Because even today, concerned citizens are raising issues that they are not satisfied with the process. The FFR came out and is jamming everybody out. People don't know where to vote. So it is completely confusing as to where will people go, because you will go to polling A and it will tell you that you're not supposed to vote there. You have to go to polling B. See? And all of that will take time, energy, transportation. If you have to go to polling A, station A to vote, where you register, and only to be told that your name is not on the ballot there for you to vote there, that you have to go to station B, polling B, somewhere that is 1 or 2 miles away or 3 miles. It's all confusing, and you woke up early that morning to be in line, to be ahead of the line. That is the essence, part of the essence of the FFR. And the National Elections Commission kept delaying, playing delay tactics up to this point. Was it intentional? With so many ballots or voter cards roaming all around, duplicates, fake ones. And many of you who are technocrats who deals in the area of computer science, you know very well that all of that can be easily altered. Even though they say, oh, the FFR is encrypted, all of that. As long as you have internet access, you're a computer programmer, technician with tech savvy, you can break through a lot. There are a lot of hackers. If people can break through major companies with high encryption software here in America and around the world, that Liberia they can't break through. That Liberia software they can't break into. So the aspect of them coming trying to reassure the general public the FFR is encrypted, it's just bogus, because it can be hacked. As long as they have internet access, it can be hacked into. And so that could just be one flaw right there, folks. But I will give you guys your song, and then I'll be going straight to Foya District. Actually, before Foya, I'll be dealing with the issue of the Rescue One campaign um, upon their entry yesterday in Vunjima, and then today, of course, Kulaho, where they are spending the night, and then tomorrow, Foya. What are your expectations when it comes to Foya? We've already seen the occurrences, the turnouts today in Kolba City, and that yesterday in Vunjima. But what are your expectations when it comes to Foya, especially with the crisis that is gearing, that is, you know, hanging over Foya? Radio stations are on the verge. They're all attacking each other. Tonight we saw former defense minister was on Radio Tamate call, as well as um, the current representative Sakila Nyumale. You know, the only issue I will come to that. Let me play your song because I need to address that issue so well. I need to address that issue. But tonight I'm going to be very very traditional. I just play our people from Bon County, Kapawa, Kapawa, Kapawa. So now I'm going to the people of Lofa since I'm about to go to Lofa right after this song to discuss them. Enjoy your song. All right. For those of you who do not understand the meaning of that song, it says, uh, he's a rock. He or she is a rock. If you hit on a rock, you will suffer. If the rock hit on you or falls on you, you will suffer the consequences and the pain as well. That there are certain people among us in certain groupings and societies, they are handpicked by God. So there's no reason, no need for jealousy, no need to undercut them, because when God's hand is upon someone, no matter what you do, when God's hand is upon a particular individual to accomplish a certain task and a certain purpose in his or her life or for the society to benefit, you stand in a way, you get crushed. There is nothing you can do about it. That is the fact. Many of you can relate to that, right? It's just like in every family, there's a Joseph. I always tell people that if God's hand is upon that Joseph in that family, God has handpicked you in that family. The rest of your siblings can envy you, they can jealous you, they can do whatever. You will be there God's word is final. God's word must come to fulfillment. That's how it is. So, folks, let's go to Foya. We saw today the Honorable former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai um, is on a serious campaign trail in his home county of Lofa. You know, a huge welcome when he got into Lofa. Um, they all slept in Vonjima, joined along with Yeke Kalba this morning, and they headed out to Kulahu. Kulahu was amazing, a huge crowd, poor crowd. I personally didn't think that, our nephews from Kulahu will, be in such a huge turnout, you know. But where they were, where they had previously scheduled the meeting to even be held, they had to move to an open field because the place where they had suggested to have the meeting was very small based on the crowd that they saw. You know, those of you who do not understand the intricacies of our culture, Lofa culture, the Bandi, the Lamas, call the Kisses uncle, and they are our nephews according to our tradition, right? So that respect has always been there. Whether that individual is small, whether a small boy, an adult, or Loma or adult Bandi, they're gonna call them uncle. And people who always negate tradition, oh, it's traditional, oh, too tribalistic, no. If you refuse, if you don't recognize that tradition is important, you know what you're saying in the first place? You're telling God that God is stupid because God created that. Remember the separation of tribes when they were building the temple, to reach to the heavens, and God smacked them down and confused them? That's how everybody started speaking in different languages. God did that, right? He did that for a purpose. So not because you don't speak your dialect or your language that you will come and undermine the other people and try to play down as though culture is that important. Culture is very, very important in life, right? So people around in Lofa, not only Lofa, but around the country in Liberia, the Bassa, the Kru, the Kran, the Grebo, the Pele, the Kisi, the Loma, culture is so unique. That is the uniqueness. So when you get into part of that culture, you honor it, you go with the norms, right? That is what's making it difficult for Alexander Cumming to get traction because the people, the supporters, quote unquote, that are behind, they try to play that on national platform as though culture is not that important, and that's their business. But they see where that is going, where that has landed Alexander Cummings of the ANC. But let's go back to Lofa. So he had a rousing, overwhelming welcome today in Kalba City, where he spent the night. And when he said that he was spending the night in Kolahu, everybody went wild and crazy. So tomorrow, I am hearing that the people of Foya early will be waking up, early bird to assemble to welcome one of their own, father, uncle, son, Joseph Nima Boakai, and the rescue team, as well as the rescue mother, as well as their nephew, uh, um, what's his name? My nephew, well, you all know him, the one that can shot shoot the president every 5 minutes, every second. But that's why Yeke Kalba. But I am a little bit concerned. The reason why I have this show tonight, I am concerned, and hear me out. I am concerned for one thing. There are two main opposition parties in Foya. The politics in Foya has been heated, nasty to say the least. And with the death of two young men, Foya citizens, Kisi boys, breaking election violence in Foya, the emotions are still running high. Thomas Fala and all his supporters, Honorable Thomas Fowler, is in Foya. That's his base. There where he's running. He's running to be the representative. And it is his right to run. And sometimes people try to dismiss that as though it's nothing. It is his right, number one, as a citizen. It is his right as a son. Period. That's it. He qualified, he registered, he got certified to run. So put that behind you. But the politics, if Thomas Fowler, Honorable Thomas Fowler, is listening to me tonight, my brother, I'm still your oldest brother, irrespective of your position. Because you know where I come from with that. In our culture, when someone is older than you, we call it big brother. They're your big brother. So I'm still your big brother because I'm in my 50s. Right? I want you to exercise restraint. Leaders lead when there is crisis. Tomorrow will be JMB Day, Rescue Day. Whether you hear the rhetorics, you need to respond or whatsoever, exercise restraint. Because Foya is still mourning for what transpired last weekend. Now, and that restraint should be handed down to your surrogates and supporters, your die-hard seditions, right? You don't want to cause any more further chaos because this is the district that you want to be the leader over. So you must exercise that leadership, right? Also, my advice to our father, Joseph Nima Boakai, very important advice as well. You are going into Foya tomorrow. I need you as well as a father to exercise restraint. And if it is possible, I want you to extend an olive branch to your son. Your two sons, because you already have one who is on your side, and that is Thomas Sakila Nyumale. The one that is fighting to unseat Thomas Sakila Nyumale, he's your son too. You need to bring him. Call him. If you need to have a private meeting with him, where no media is present, where no one with cell phone is present, have that meeting before you leave Foya. That is what every father should do. Forget the politics. Call the stakeholders. We want peace. Because you already know the outcome of what it's going to look like in Foya. I am hearing rumors. You know, a lot of, they say, Liberian men say G's or they say unconfirmed reports. Right? About who people want to elect, Foya people want to elect as the next president. And I'm also hearing rumors who the Foya people want to elect as the next representative. You see the beauty of being independent? Because I'm talking on both sides of the aisle. I don't belong to any political party besides Talk TV Media Network. So I'm able to talk on both sides of the aisle. Where I can see between the eyes of unbiasedness. I can talk on the other side. I talk to them and see what is going on. I can talk on the other side and see, I can see the strategies that are involved, where the young people are leaning. So it is very incumbent upon the leadership, the elders, to come together. You don't want after the election, after the bruises and the hurts are so much, and someone win, and it's hard to mend the broken pieces. And you find it difficult to mend the broken pieces. This is the hour, as Martin Luther King said. Now is the hour. We only have 7 days. Peace. Restrain. Patience. extend an olive branch. That's what we should be doing. That is what we should be doing. Because what? At the end of the day, we all are brothers, sisters, intertwined, all connected. All connected. That's what we should be doing. Politics is not easy. Nelson Mandela went to jail in the fight for freedom. After 27 good years behind bars, he came out and became president of South Africa. Do you think it was by mistake? No, it was because God destined. When God destined someone, you don't stand in the way. You support. You fall in line. You remember last night I talked about a wave when you are at sea and the wave is moving in a certain direction and you are surfing or at sea. If you don't go with a wave, you're looking for trouble. That's what happens. And the supporters of the rescue team that are heading to Foya, don't go over there to put more gas on fire. Tune down your rhetorics. That's my advice. I'm giving a lot of people advice. Somebody will say, Sam, God is the one who's speaking to you. Don't go over there calling Thomas Fowler people by names and doing this and doing that and saying stuff. Even Yakakoba, you are our nephew. Don't go over there to show up to curse people out or whatsoever or throw or challenge people out or whatsoever, this and that. You don't want that. Tone down your rhetorics when you get to Foya. Do what you're going to do for campaign and get out. This is not the time to challenge each other strength as to what. Because there is something within every man, whether be it a child or an adult or middleman or whatever. When you throw a challenge, you trigger something within any man. Remember when we were growing up as young men, as young boys, on campuses or you going to the village, couple of boys, and a fight will start very easily. By someone come and pick up hair on your hair and you go and put it on your opponent's hair. And now you're going to get your hair back. Fight. Because what? There is something that God places in every man. There's an ego within every man that nobody wants to challenge that ego. So we men ought to understand that. So when you stand publicly and you challenge someone else will stand and challenge you. And you start throwing jabs at each other. What happens? You end up in a fight. We don't want that. We want peace. Peace is what we want. Unity is what we yearn for. This is a time that I normally use the words of the late United States President John F. Kennedy, where he says that ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. What are you doing for your country as a citizen, a peaceful citizen? To bring about peace, to bring about free and fair elections. Sitting behind this mic, I am doing my part for the country of Liberia. Preaching peace, preaching unity, preaching oneness, preaching tolerance, respect for each other. That's what I'm doing. Folks, I'm not here to come showcase myself. I'm supposed to be somewhere right now with my kids. But I chose to put Mama Liberia first. To making sure that everybody is in their area. Just like Senegal said, everybody get their area. Some of you, you're lawyers. Some of you are politicians. Some of you are preachers. And when you find that area, some of you are doctors, musicians. When you find your area, you will know within the bloodstream that flows through your veins that that is your area, because you will function effectively in that area. 20 plus people want to become president. everybody want to be president in Liberia. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Listen to this brief song. Actually, before the song, I would like to take a break for this NEC, National Election Commission's commercial promo.
Hello, my Liberian people. Tuesday, October 10 is our elections day. The voting will start 8 a.m. in the morning and end 6 p.m. in the evening. Here are things you need to know about the voting process elections day. 1. Make sure you have your voting ID card and go to the first center where you register to vote on elections day. 2. When you reach at the voting center, show your voting ID card to the NEC staff and stand behind the last person on the line. Do not stand in front of others who are already in the line. 3. Only people with special needs like the physically challenged, old people, pregnant women, and young baby mothers will be taken to the front of the line to vote. 4. After a while, it will be your time to vote. Give your voter ID card to the NEC staff so that he or she can check if you should be at that center. The NEC staff will also show you your polling place or room. 5. When you enter the polling room or place, they will check for your name in the final registration room. 6. You will be given 3 ballot papers on election day. Red for presidential, blue for senatorial, and green for representative. 7. You must mark with a pen or thumbprint in a box in front of the photo of the candidate of your choice. There are 3 ways to mark your ballot papers: check mark, or an X, or with your thumbprint. Note, you must only mark one time on each ballot paper. 8. If you mark using thumbprint, you should wait a moment till the mark dries before folding the ballot papers. 9. You should fold each ballot paper separately and put the ballots in the rightful box. 10. Your choice as a voter is a secret and no one has the right to know. Please watch out for the following on elections day. 1. All registered voters are to vote only one time. It is a crime to attempt to vote twice or more. 2. Please avoid violence during the election. Violence is not good during election because elections come and go. We will have to live together to build Liberia after these elections. 3. Do not get involved in any campaign activities on elections day. If you see anyone campaigning, please report to the NEC. Vote Liberia.
This is the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever. So open up your heart, let the unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate one another. Learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Unify and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Keep it standing. This is the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, this land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Oh, sweet Liberia.
Sweet Liberia. This is the land of liberty, the only land that we all have. Yeah, sweet Liberia. And Facebook, I owe no copyright to that song, so I'm not mess with my stuff. That's a song by David G. Sweet Liberia. Land of liberty is ours. I remember that song so well growing up as a boy when you see the movie, the intro on TV. People are packing stuff, the loafer packing and Sino, Grand Crew, moving around the different parts of Liberia. The days, beautiful days, man. Yeah, peace. You could just sense it, you know. And I hope that one day that Liberia will be able to enjoy that Canaan land again. That land that flows with milk and honey, where every Liberian will not be knocking at the door of anybody but going out to fetch for their own, where it will be plenty. All you need to do is to go out and work a little bit. Just do something a little bit, and you will have something. Those days, yes, it is not impossible. It's very much so possible because why God has blessed the nation of Liberia enormously with a lot of resources. Any kind of resources underground, beneath the ground that you think of, God has blessed the nation of Liberia with iron ore, rubber, hmm, bauxite, gold, diamond, food. I can't even talk about food. That's a lot. We could be growing our own rice, exporting cassava, exporting potato. We could be exporting peppers. A lot we can do. A lot. God has blessed the nation of Liberia. But why? It's time for us to break that. Out of 176 years that the enemy has sat over our back, the back of Liberia, it is time for us to rise up to break that thing that has kept Liberia under. That only foreigners will come and enjoy the resources of our nation. That only foreigners will come and sit in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They become bosses. They have money. And you find Liberians working for them, drawing water for them, cooking for them, you know, fixing breakfast, sending them places, washing their floors, mopping their floors and stuff. These are people that live poor in their countries. Lebanese come over there with nothing, you know, and when you go look, Indians, 1 or 2 years, they are bosses in our own land. So we need someone who has a love of country, who understand the intricacies of shifting the laws around in favor of its citizens. Just like Ghana. I can't just go to Ghana and open a store or go buy property without not having to go through a Ghanaian. How is that hard to perceive, to see? Hmm? It's not that difficult. If we have the right lawmakers, if we don't have people who are so greedy, who are just only going to power for their own self-aggrandizement, for their own personal gains, why can't we just make the right laws that all the citizens, majority, if not 80, 90%, would benefit? What is wrong? Why should someone go into government with a perceived mind, as in, my man, that my own a chopping town? Thank God the people now elect me that my own a chopping town. I here for 9 years as a senator. 9 years as a senator. And you have no law to show. Huh? You have no development to show. You can send your people overseas for scholarships. You have all those benefits as a senator or representative. What is your motive, your intent of going to the House of Legislature? Do you see what happened today in America? The majority leader was elected out, voted out? Because why? The people want their system to work. If they put you in power and you're not working, they vote you out. First time in the history of U.S. Congress. Today. The example is there. Why can't our people watch this and see that? You go into power with a perceived mind, you know. Once you go with that kind of mindset, you've already set yourself up for failure. Because you just want to go show up. You're not going to go serve. You're going there to go steal. Once you go into the house or any governmental position with a perceived mindset, you have already tinted your integrity and your character. You are already a failure. And that is why our country is behind. That is why our country is being left behind by many nations. The country once upon a time that other countries look up to, that other nations would travel to even get a passport to travel out of Africa. Now, when are we going to experience that? When are we ever going to go back? They used to call Liberia a small United States country in Africa. Yeah. In 8 hours flight, direct flight, you're in New York. With Sabina Airlines, I still remember that airline. Air Liberia used to run all around. We don't have none of that. When? So those days were better than our days. Looking at all these things I'm talking about. The days of Tubman. So those days were better days. When you cannot fly from the U.S. or an European country direct into Liberia, that's a problem. That in itself is a problem. Delta was flying at least direct under Madam Johnson Sirleaf. And they pulled out. They ran out. Just as she was leaving. Now, if you're flying through United or United Emirates, you're going to have to go sit somewhere or spend a night at an airport somewhere or a layover for 5 hours before heading into Africa, then other connections and stuff. If we have an economy in a country that is safe, number one, security matters. If the international community is seeing a lot of things happening in the country and people are not being held accountable, that's a problem. These are all the issues that make investors to stay away and not want to put their resources, their money into the country. Right? If someone is attacked overnight, if someone is killed overnight, and they're not brought to book, and it's squash it, it's gone. Nothing happens. Why do you think I'm going to get $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, or an investor, a billionaire to come and invest in that country? It'll be a waste of money. Because the next thing, my man, y'all take that man money. My man, y'all go confiscate that. Risky. So we must first, the next leadership, need to concentrate on security. Security is part of the prosperity of the nation. When the nation is not secure, people don't want to live there. People run. Well-meaning people, they leave you in your poverty. Survival of the fittest. We need safety. We need security. Whether George Weah wins, he needs to understand that by now, though. That if he wins, he should prioritize security, safety. Not his boys or colleagues, other people he feels that are in government, that they are the only people that are safe. If the citizens are not secure, if the environment is not safe, we suffer, the country suffer. The people that live there suffers. There's not one person that build a house these days in Liberia and does not barricade themselves with iron bars to their door, to their windows. Why? Because of lack of safety. It almost looks like anybody, you build a nice modern house, you're going to have to put yourself in jail. That's what's happening in Liberia. We need to do better than that, where I can build my property, my house, that I'm not forced to put window bars. Where it's safe. For every, in fact, they have what they call now Zogo wire. I don't know if many of you know. They have what they call Zogo wire because that's the kind of wire that is Zogos. The thieves at night, because they have wires that they can cut and get in to steal. Now they have what they call Zogo wire that they're not able to cut. Very interesting country, Liberia. Very interesting. We need to do better than that. Our leaders need to do better than that. Our politicians need to rise up and face the truth. This aspect of self-aggrandizement and greed will never end. At the end of the day, guess what? You can build all the mansions. You can do all, you can steal all you want to steal. If the good old Lord calls you home, you are not going in that grave with no money. You only go in there with 2 pairs of shoes, the clothes that you're going to wear on. And even the clothes that you're going to wear, you will not be the one to handpick those clothes to wear like you do now. Someone else will. That is the beauty. So when you understand that life and the opportunity you have to serve your people, it's not about you. You will do well. That's how true leaders function. Not intimidating people, not harassing people. Not harassing people or intimidating people because you are in power. You have life in you. Yeah. What you want to show. You go kill somebody, it's gone. What else? What did you accomplish out of that? What's the accomplishment? What's the satisfaction? What have you accomplished if you take someone else's life, folks? So people are nervous, people are scared, and we're praying for Mama Liberia for peaceful elections. Peaceful elections. Peaceful elections. Peaceful election. Peaceful election.
We put our foot down and insisted in being respected, even though we're prisoners.
She said, who are you to ask for my name? What's your name?
You have a limited time to stay on earth.
We do not care whether the cat is black or white, as long as it can catch mice.
But humility is one of the most important qualities which you must have.
I was paralyzed because he made my day. Our attitude towards any country is determined by the attitude of that country to our struggle.
But our brain said, if you don't talk to this man, your country will go up in flames.
It is the desire of every freedom fighter to disappear under a cloud of glory.
I don't know if I have paralyzed you.
No.
He was a South African anti-apartheid.
Yeah. That was the late Nelson Mandela. The desire of every freedom fighter is to disappear, is to appear and disappear under the cloud of glory. That is a profound statement out of the lips and the mouth of Nelson Mandela. May his soul rest in peace. The desire of every freedom fighter is to appear and disappear under the cloud of glory and leaving footprints that people and generations will never forget. That is what you freedom fighters should bear in mind. That is what you should emulate. That is your example as you fight for the freedom of people, as you fight in every way possible. Yes. So peace is what we envisage right now. Peace is what we want for Mama Liberia. And we hope and pray that Liberians will have peaceful elections. I keep saying, those of you guys who are eligible to vote, going to the elections, especially Montserrat, you go ahead and buy your umbrellas because on the 10th it's going to be raining. I've already checked the weather forecast. Maybe things will improve much better. If it is my prayer, I pray that the weather could be still for the entire day, so people will be able to vote. People will be able to go to the polls. That nothing will hold them back, because these elections are crucial. These elections are very, very important. The president is in Maryland today, President Weah, to be more specific, Plebo, where he's campaigning. We're following him too with our reporters over there. We saw a lot of people turn out to welcome the president. The hometown of Buffer Chambers as well. So it's very fascinating. Everybody's crisscrossing the country right now. With all the barrows. That's so interesting. With all the barrows, everyone is crisscrossing the country. Yeah. Politicians, man. By the time they are done, they get their positions, they go sit down in wearing suits every day now. And all these people that are so crazy, for them, you go knock at their office, forget it. They're done with you. As long as they get their spot for the next 6 years or 9 years, whatever, you guys are a done deal. So make your decision. Vote wisely. That's all I can say. Vote wisely. Vote wisely. That's it. Vote wisely, folks. Be wise in casting your vote. Hopefully by this Saturday, folks, we will be bringing some of the candidates that are running for representative positions in Foya as well. And for those of you who are watching, our platform here is open to all of you. If you have a plan, your vision, your platform, we would love to discuss it. This is where we do it. And so tonight, I'm going to play a song from our Loma people, our nephews out there in Lofa. Why I take leave of you as well. Let me see if it will play. I don't understand it. I hope one of my nephews could understand it, or any of you, if you Loma watching, you'll help me out of it. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but let's see if I can get it.
Hommage aux braves femmes de ma Guinée natale. Nous pensons et rendons hommage à toutes ces grandes dames de qualité. Adja Nantou Chérif, Adja Rabiatou Sera Diallo, Madame Rogi Bari, Dr Fatou Sike Kamara, Adja Saranda Raba, Madame Makale Traoré, Adja Saran Kaba à la douane nationale. Également à Adja Nyuma Traoré, à Adja Alimatou Dalen Diallo, à Madame Regina Collier, à Adja Massiré Camara de Mass Production, à Madame Marie-Kenneth Kilavogui, à Djelika Nifanta, aux Amazones de Guinée et à Adja L'Islam Baldé, présidente des femmes calmeuses.
I don't feel